Hi everyone! Today we're talking about how the Enneagram of personality can support us in understanding why we have certain conflicts in our romantic relationships or other types of relationships as well, and perhaps offer us a perspective in terms of what we can do about it. So all about that in the next few minutes. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's dive in. So there are three main ideas that I suggest taking into account when it comes to understanding conflict in relationship to the Enneagram type of ourselves and of our partner. The first thing is related to the fact that people have a tendency to expect others to do things the same way that they do, or to approach situations in a similar way, or to react in a similar way, and so on and so forth. And this is because when we are really caught up by the stories that our personality tells us, and are not really aware of the differences between us and other people, don't really understand the perspective of the other person through their own personality perspective or lens, we have a tendency to really get frustrated, because it's very often the case that our expectations do not align with what the other person will do. So let's say that we have an Enneagram type 2 and an Enneagram type 3 that are in a romantic relationship together. A very common pattern that is likely to occur in such a relationship is that the Enneagram type 2 might often get frustrated at their Enneagram type 3 partner because their partner spends too much time at work, is not present enough with them to do activities together, to spend quality time together, to show affection to each other. Whereas the Enneagram type 3 individual is really focused on their career, on their professional goals, is really focused on getting that recognition on a professional level, which in certain situations and in certain professions can lead to the achiever, to the Enneagram 3, spending a lot of time at work, spending a lot of time building a business, and so on and so forth. And they feel when their Enneagram type 2 partner gets frustrated at them for doing too much of that, they feel unloved, because in their mind, if someone really loved them, they would understand the fact that career aspirations and making money and being successful professionally is so important to them. And respecting their need to spend a lot of time and energy on that is for them perhaps a sign of love. Whereas for someone who's an Enneagram type 2, a stronger focus on that emotional connection, a stronger focus sometimes on saying things explicitly, or spending more time together, being closer to each other physically and emotionally, is a greater sign of love. So because the two have these very different expectations of each other, they start telling themselves stories in their minds about what the other person is actually experiencing or feeling, or not feeling to a certain extent, and then a lot of conflicts can happen. And without the understanding of the Enneagram types and the differences between the fears, the expectations, the motivations of each type, this can really blow out of proportion. However, the deeper we go in this process and the deeper we understand what our desires are and that of our partner, we can start seeing things from the big picture and have a more objective understanding of that conflict. And then in time, this can really lead to progress when it comes to that relationship. Okay, the second thing that the Enneagram can help us with is related to communication styles. So naturally, people have different communication styles, and there are different ways to classify that, but the Enneagram has one perspective over it. So let's say that an Enneagram type 8 and an Enneagram type 9, so the challenger and the peacemaker, are in a romantic relationship. Enneagram 8 individuals tend to communicate quite aggressively, quite directly, quite assertively, whereas Enneagram 9 individuals tend to be a bit more withdrawn. They are more likely to be passive communicators, and to an extent passive-aggressive when they get there. So let's say that they are in a romantic relationship together, and the Enneagram 8 partner is not satisfied with how often their Enneagram 9 partner does some sort of house chores or something along those lines. And when they get frustrated with this, they explain this to their partner in a more aggressive way, in a more demanding way. And this can really make the Enneagram 9 partner feel attacked, not understood. It can trigger them a lot, because conflict triggers them a lot, especially if it's a more explosive, aggressive type of conflict. And as a result, they withdraw and they become passive in their communication style, which can trigger the Enneagram 8 partner even further, because they feel like they really respect people who take things in their own hands and talk about it openly and address conflicts and address the elephant in the room and so on and so forth. Because Enneagram 8 is an assertive type, so their style of communication can be a bit more dominant, more aggressive naturally. Whereas Enneagram 9 individuals are withdrawn types, so they tend to hold back and be a bit more passive as a result of their conflict avoidance tendencies. So again, without the understanding of what our type and communication style is and what the type and communication style of our partner is, we can start making these assumptions about each other, and the communication differences can cause severe clashes, which can then lead to more and more problems in the relationship. And number 3 is related to interaction style differences. So different ways in which we approach situations and deal with our emotions and the emotions of other people. So let's say that we have a relationship between an Enneagram type 6, the loyalist, and an Enneagram type 7, the enthusiast. And the scenario could be something along the lines of Enneagram type 6 comes home from work, they are really overwhelmed, they had a stressful period at work or a conflict with somebody, and they are really upset and really frustrated at what happened. And they share this with their Enneagram 7 partner. They show their annoyance, they show the fact that they're really angry at a situation, and then their Enneagram 7 partner says something along the lines of, okay, let's forget about it, let's focus on something positive, come on, come to a party with me, or come on, let's do something fun. And this can cause a severe clash, and I've actually seen this in relationships between type 6 and 7. Why? Because Enneagram 6 is a reactive type, which means that they have a tendency to react very strongly to things, also to negative things, on an emotional level, and then they expect other people who love them to be on their side by showing the same type of strong emotional reaction. So if the type 6 is very upset about something, they want their partner to be upset with them, because this kind of shows them that there is some sort of bond between them, some sort of loyalty. Whereas the type 7 is a positive type, so they have a stronger tendency to focus on positive experiences, positive feelings, and to encourage their partners to do the same. So they are both just showing love in their own way and interacting in their own natural way, but this can clash, and again they can get upset at each other because they don't understand what's going on. Type 6 is like, hey, why are you not giving me credit? Why are you minimizing my feelings? Why don't you validate what I'm showing you? Why are you not on my side? Whereas type 7 might be like, why are you not appreciating the fact that I'm trying to focus us on something positive and create a positive experience together? So again, because of the natural differences in the way we interact, in the way we deal with our emotions, we can have a lot of conflict in our relationships. And the Enneagram can help us because it helps us see more clearly what's going on in ourselves first, and then in our partners. This can help us have more empathy for others, more understanding, and not take it personally, not think that, oh, they're doing this because they don't love me, they're doing it because they're mean. Rather, they're doing this because this comes from their own pain, or this comes from their own personality type. And I'm doing this because this comes from my own pain, and sometimes it might be worth taking a step back and reflecting, is this strategy really helping me right now? Okay, so these are my thoughts on how the Enneagram can provide 3 different directions into looking into our relationships. It can be about having expectations that are more about what we would do, and we expect other people to do the same. It can be about communication differences or interaction style differences. I hope this video was helpful to you, and as always, thank you very much for being with me and watching this video. For those of you who are interested, I also offer self-awareness coaching sessions aimed at supporting you gain a deeper understanding of who you are using different tools and implementing this knowledge in different areas of your life. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description below. It will take you to my website where I offer you more information about that. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next time with another video on typology.